I've seen you guys twice, but remind me what instrument you play in the group.
I play drums.
Right, that would probably be why I haven't seen you because you've been obscured behind your enormous Iron Maiden-esque drum set.
Yeah. No, I'm obscured by seven men, or six
That's
men really.
well, and it doesn't help that they like to all do like the 1 foot up on the monitor, like in a row. So
Yeah.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
fair, fair,
it's a bit hectic. Sorry. Yeah.
fair.
It's like
Uh,
it's good. It's kind of good actually. No, I kind of go unnoticed. It's good. I don't
yeah,
have to worry about all the people coming to try and talk to me. They can deal with that stuff.
I like someone pointed out like how amazing a life does the drummer from Coldplay have? Travels the
Yeah,
world, makes millions upon millions of dollars, and no one has the slightest clue who he is.
it must be good. And he's probably really rich too.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh
Yeah,
dear.
I hate to be a really famous like person that just constantly gets berated everywhere he goes. Go to the shopping center.
Nick,
Can't do
you know
anything.
what? I feel at this point, I feel like we're safe. I feel like we're
Yeah.
going to be. You've managed to pick one of one of the unsexier. I mean, Iron Maiden are stadium fillers. Let's be true, but they're also like literally one of the first metal bands. I'm struggling to think who would be like the number two power metal band in the world.
Power metal. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's not my subject of expertise.
I'm
I
thinking like Dragon Force is pretty power metal.
true, and they were big in the
Yeah.
mid 2000s. Hey, you
Yeah,
know
yeah,
what?
yeah.
I was thinking, look, we'll crack on, and if Elliot decides to join us, he's more than welcome to.
He did say he was jumping on, so I don't know.
Yeah. Oh,
See what
look, he
happens.
jumps in. He jumps in. So, you have recently got back from a big old European tour, your first.
Yeah.
Man, I saw the little clip show. How did that go?
The European tour was insane. UK, absolutely insane. Was way bigger than we thought it would be. Like first time going to London, first time going sorry, UK, first time going to Europe, thought maybe we'll play to like 20 people. You know, there was packed rooms. We sold out the London show. Like
Wow.
played, yeah. Bearded Theory was like a full huge crowd, like 1,000 people probably, maybe more. Yeah, it was insane. It was absolutely insane.
I'm so happy to hear that because you guys are just this. You just make me smile when I see you on stage. Like I imagine the look on my face was priceless when you walked on stage at the World as a Vampire Festival because I had not pre-gamed you guys at all. I had no idea what I was getting myself into.
Yeah, that's good. That's the way we want
I don't
it.
understand. I think
Yeah.
someone snapped a great photo of me during the first three songs, just staring up at you, going, "What?"
Yeah. That's exactly what we want. People just have no idea what's going on. Then we
Oh.
rock up in our costumes, whatever, and they're just like, "What is this?" It's perfect, perfect reaction.
It looks like the Pope, but he's wearing Converse All Stars. What's going on? One of them looks
Yeah,
like Frank Zappa.
yeah, that's right, Benny. Yeah, dude, he
Oh,
looks crazy, like so much like Frank Zappa. It's nuts.
it's nuts. I was
Yeah,
staring at him, going, "Is it him?
yeah,
What?"
crazy.
I'm fairly certain he's dead. Um, so where throughout Europe do you think you got the most rabid reaction?
I think the Great Escape was our first couple of shows that we did in Brighton. That I feel like we had a really good response. So like the crowd was everywhere, every gig we played there, the crowd just loved it. It was really inspiring, especially because that was the start of the tour as well. So
Hmm.
it was a good way to start. Everyone was into it. We're just like, yes, let's go, let's do it.
Yeah, nice. Do
Yeah.
you now, mate, in this economy, every cent counts. What kind of petrol mileage does a motor steeple get?
Oh, the Motorsteeple uses a lot of fuel. Uses a mixture of fuels actually. Uses nuclear power, uses coal, uses oil, crude
Wow.
oil. So it consumes a lot, but it gives back. it gives back in damage.
Did you see the previous interview that we did with Elliot back in
I don't think
the?
so.
Ah, right. We made a joke or two at the expense of your guitar player, and I was wondering
Oh yeah.
if it had got back to him how mad he was. Because he remember he jumped in the stage, he jumped in the ring with one of the wrestlers,
Oh
um,
yeah.
and we cut it to footage of him getting absolutely creamed in the wrestling ring. And I said to Elliot, I was like, well, if you're going to sacrifice any member to a potential wrestling mishap, I mean the guitar player, and he's like, no, don't say that. He's going to be so mad.
Yeah, he pretty much died. We had to carry him off the stage. It was bad.
Oh dear. Uh, Mate, without obviously getting too much into it, because I think people have a wildly inflated view of how much money people make, particularly with how expensive it is to tour in Europe. Without
Oh
getting
yeah.
into your personal business, I'm just curious, like, are you able to say if you came home with any money in your pocket, or did you come home in debt?
Nah, we no money.
Yeah,
It's yeah, the
figured.
early touring as a band, especially with seven people plus eight with our sound. We bring our sound guy with us because he's a legend. Yeah, it's just it's hard. You can't do it. It's like everything's too expensive.
Yeah.
So more of an investment than anything.
Yeah, and it's an experience that you are going to have with you for the rest of your life. I mean, I'm not trying. I'm trying not to talk to you guys like you're a new up and coming band. I know you've been around for ages, but how many people can say they toured Europe? You know,
Yeah, it,
I,
yeah, it's crazy. Like I got people that remind me of that because I kind of forget. You when you're doing it, like you said, we've been doing it for a long time, nearly 7 years now, and it's just like becomes like another gig. Like you're just doing heaps of gigs, and you kind of forget what gigs you're doing, and then you kind of need someone to pull you aside and be like, "Hey, you're going to Europe," and I'm just like, "Oh
yeah,
yeah, shit, yeah, I'm going to Europe. Wow!" And you just like you forget. It's weird, but yeah, it's crazy. Like honestly, is what we all dreamed of doing. Everyone in the band, this is what we wanted, and it's like amazing that we get to actually finally do it,
and that's
even if we don't make any money.
well, I mean, that's where it is. I mean, I wonder if this, like terrible economic, situation for bands is in a way does have positives in a way in that it only attracts the true believers these days. Like, who the
Yeah,
hell is getting into music these days going, I'm going to make it, I'm going to be massive, I'm going to be, selling out arenas like Taylor Swift? Like, that's, you know,
yeah. It
you have to
starts like
love
that.
this.
It starts off when you're like 15 years old, be like, that's what I'm gonna do. But then you get into it and you're like, oh crap, I just want to make enough money to live. Yeah.
It's
I
like,
think you kind of need that inspiration though when you're starting. You can't when you're first starting, I think it's nice to have that goal to like take over the world, which Battlesnake's going to do. We're gonna take over the world. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I don't want to jinx it. And mate, these interview questions were written for when you and I were going to be talking on Saturday, but you guys decided you were too cool for me and stood me up.
Oh, I don't even know what
Uh,
happened.
yeah, I got that. I got the feeling something had gone.
We were meant to
Um,
talk to you last Saturday, was it?
yeah, it was just before
Oh
your
shit.
Brisbane
Okay.
show.
Sorry
Um,
about that.
it happens. Um, Mate, how the first couple of dates of the national tour gone?
National tour. So we started in Hobart. That was amazing, actually.
Mm.
Hobart's crazy. We did the Party in the Paddock gig like a couple of months before, and then we thought, oh, we'll go back to Tasmania. Mate, it was unreal. Tasmania, Hobart goes off. Like that's one of my favorite places. Going to go back there for sure.
These are my people. Yeah, I grew up in
Oh,
town.
really? You're Tassie based?
I am. I grew up in Launceston on the other end, but
Oh, cool.
dude, Tassie crowds, man, when they do actually get off their bum and get out to gigs, because when I was growing up, they had a bad habit of not going. but the ones who do go are ravenous because the,
Oh,
the bugger all people go down there. So when a gig does happen, it's a big deal.
yeah, it was everyone was so nice too. I feel like it felt really nice. Everyone was friendly. It was like a big community.
Yeah.
And heaps of people showed up. They went hard. We all went hard. It was great. Such a good show. Definitely a great
Nice.
start to the show. Yeah.
Um,
Then, yeah.
I interviewed Luca Brasi recently, who I
Oh
had
yeah.
no idea where from Tassie, and I gave him some stick because he used the phrase heat pump in a lyric, which is the most aggressively Tasmanian ever. Heat pump is what we would call air conditioning,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
obviously in Tassie it's called a heat pump. Made me laugh. Mate, how would you describe the process of putting together the geez, stuffed up the title Motorsteeple Rise and what is it?
The
Rise
rise
and
and
Demise.
demise.
Yeah,
So you're talking about putting like the writing of the album and stuff like that.
yeah. Take me through it. Was it challenging? Was it easy?
This one was probably the most challenging album we've written. Um, the way it usually works in the band is like we call them skeletons. So like people in the band. Usually it's Ben, Elliot, and Sam. Will go off and write like basic lyrics and like a riff and some basic skeletons for some songs. We find that if everyone's in a room at once during the initial
Mm.
spark of a song, there's like too many cooks. So we have to kind of like spread out a bit. Um, so yeah, we'll have like a skeleton, and then once the skeleton's kind of thought out, we then it comes to everyone, and then we all kind of meet up and work it out together. But what this with this album, we didn't have a lot of time, and we kind of set ourselves a deadline, and the deadline was creeping up, and the songs weren't ready. So we really pushed really hard to get this done as fast as possible because we find that if we don't have a deadline, nothing kind of happens. So were aiming to meet the deadline, and we did, but it was very challenging. It was a lot of we recorded the album in 10 days. Pretty much wrote the album whilst we were recording them. Like yeah, it was challenging. It was
How,
good.
yeah. So how do you reckon did that experience differ from the previous album?
The previous album we wrote, we got like a little holiday house and we just camped. We stayed in there, just the guys, and we just wrote. It was beautiful. Nothing around, nothing to worry about, just writing. So we had more of a like fleshed out understanding of what the songs were before we went to the studio. Whereas with Rise and Demise and Motor Steeple, the songs we weren't 100% around them by the time we had to record. So it was a little bit. I wish we had a little bit more time, obviously, but I think it was a good challenge, and I think it helped us grow as a band and as individual musicians and how we kind of write and collaborate. I feel like it was really beneficial to do it that way.
Pangea Breaker is an absolute weapon. I love it.
You know that
Uh,
one?
oh, dude, I'm a headbanger. I'm all about that. Just that riff and bringing it in with the distortion is just me like.
Sick. Have you heard what's the that's a triplet spill that song. Have you heard what's that on Beelzebug from the last album? It's a similar kind of
Ah,
thing.
dan, 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 dan.
That's Demon Farm, I think.
That's Demon Farm. Yeah, I remember I was a big fan. Oh, Beelzebub. I would know it if I heard it. I'm just
That's
struggling.
those two songs, Beelzebub and Pangea, like they fit in kind of the same vibe for me. Like that aggressive, like want to bang your head kind of vibe. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just and it's so much fun though. I do feel that we need to we do need to like augment your singer's horns a little better so he doesn't have the poor thing doesn't have to hold on to them when he headbangs.
Yeah, we need to strap like a really strong, tight strap around his whole head.
Yeah. So he can just yeah. Because at the
They're
moment it's just
heavy.
yeah.
Yeah, they're not light. That's why he holds them because there's a lot of math going on there.
Oh mate. Look, dude, well done on the album. It
Thank
is a
you.
lot of fun. And I'm congratulations on the European tour, man. I'm really, really from the bottom of my heart grateful that you guys had such a good time because you deserve it.
Thank you.
Easy, man. All right, man. I'll talk to you soon.
All right,
Have a
see
good
ya.
one, mate.